Alright guys, so you probably want me to talk about this, although to be honest I'm sick of hearing about it, but let's jump into it. Let's do a very quick breakdown of what actually happened in case people don't know, and what I actually find more interesting about this than what the other people do. So let's jump into it. So your complete guide to how the media tried to ruin the lives of innocent teenagers. Just mere days after BuzzFeed News dropped its hotly disputed report on accusing President Donald Trump of obstructing justice, the media decided to pick a new target, a group of teen Catholic high school boys. Which is what I think it was all about. I think this was all about getting off the BuzzFeed article because of the fact that it is such cancer. They saw these kids, they saw this video, they thought we can divert attention to this. It just ended up being a bigger story than the original BuzzFeed mainstream media lies that they were trying to push. And they got caught with their hand in the jar. And they're probably really regretting trying to say BuzzFeed for now, but that's my view anyway. On Friday, a group of male students from Covington Catholic High School in Kentucky found themselves in the middle of a media firestorm after an initial video gave the impression that they had mobbed a Native American protester. CNN's words, not mine. Media figures still reeling from the wave of criticism following the BuzzFeed News fiasco smelt blood. Sure, the initial video didn't show the students assaulting anyone, but that didn't stop reporters, commentators, and Hollywood celebrities from focusing in on the smirk of a student in the video, which somehow triggered the painful memories of lonely prom nights, failed junior varsity sports tryouts. Of course, the new video shows the students were completely innocent. Well, it's not new, okay? It was out the whole time, but anyway. They were first taunted by a group of radical activists and the Native American protester approached them. We'll break this down in a sec. So even with this new information, CNN decided to report on the story, which followed the following headline. So what actually happened with this situation? Okay, so a bunch of Catholic school kids went to, I think it was March for Our Life. And they were told to be at this memorial by 5:30 so that the bus would pick them up and take them back. Now they were waiting there at this designated area, which they had been told to by their students, but there was two other groups. There was the Black Israelites, which we'll get to in a sec, and there was also these Native Americans. Now the Native Americans were actually being harassed by the Black Israelites. So if the mainstream media wants to go on about anybody harassing anybody, the Black Israelites obviously would have been the right target. But, you know, in narrative, we can't go criticizing a black community because, well, minorities. So let's zone in on the white kid, which is what I figured to happen here. Now, obviously, once the Black Israelites was there harassing the Native Americans, the white kids, or the Catholic school kids, decided to start singing their school chants to try and drown out the homophobic and racist slurs that were coming from the Black Israelites. And that basically this Native American guy who was originally being attacked by the Black Israelites, mind you, then decided to make his way over to the children, banging his drum and literally making his way in the crowd. He basically tried to get into the center of the crowd, and one of the kids stood there the whole time, and for reasons we'll go into in a sec, and basically this Nathan Phillips guy, whatever his name was, has literally sat there banging a drum centimeters away from the kid's face. It doesn't show it in this image, but that drum is really close to this kid's face. So you have a Native American who decided to walk up to the school crowd, make his way into the group, find some student, which the kid, I think his name is Sandman, which is funny because the whole Metallica thing, but anyway. But Sandman, Mr. Sandman has then said that he actually zoned in on Sandman and went up to him specifically, and started banging the drum in his face. Now, even if you want to attack somebody out of these two groups, even if you want to attack the white kid or the Native American, to me, the Native American was in the wrong. You don't bang a drum in someone's face. Not that close anyway, okay? That's confrontational. But at the end of the day, the biggest problem out of all this is the black Israelites who were literally sitting there saying racist and homophobic slurs to both the Native Americans and to the Christian kids. So you literally have adults attacking the Christian kids with homophobic and racist and everything slurs, while also attacking the adults from the Native American tribe. But apparently the white kids are the problem. That really is impressive. But anyway. So the original story was, video shows a crowd of teenagers wearing Make America Great Again hats taunting a Native American elder after Friday's Indigenous Peoples March at the Lincoln Memorial. So the Indigenous Peoples March was on at the same time as the pro-life march. The kids didn't go to the Indigenous Peoples March, which is a little bit what they're trying to allude here, which is also fake news. But what they did do was go to the pro-life. It was just happened that they were in the same area. But anyway. Facts first, of course. BuzzFeed News reporter Anne Haley Pearson made her colleagues proud by smearing one of the kids in the video and implying he had a future in sexual assaulting women. Peterson even acknowledged that other videos showed a completely different story, so they were aware of the story originally. But anyway. But that didn't stop her from diatribing about why teenage boys' face cause a visceral reaction. So, 3 Washington Post reporters, as National Review Michael Brandon Donnelly neatly explained, framing the story on how a throng of young, mostly white teenage boys, several wearing Make America Again hats, surrounded the Native American protester, Nathan Phillips, and reported that he felt threatened, which is not what happened. The Native American protester, Nathan Phillips, actually went up to the kids, made his way into the crowd, and started banging his drum in one of the kids' face. But regardless, even the New York Times seemingly contradicted itself halfway through its own report. It actually said that it was encircled by an animated group of high school boys. Disrespectful, but on Sunday, Mr. Phillips clarified that he approached the crowd. So they're saying that the boys encircled him, but then later in the article they're saying that he went into the crowd himself. Okay, but moving along. The Atlantic, go away, ad. The Atlantic James Fellows, just hours after the first video was released, wrote a bizarre column comparing the young boys to a pro-segregated activists. Fowler seems to have even recognised the other footage, which might have given a more complete picture of the incident, but he chose to brush it off as just whatever happened. Even by Monday morning, MSNBC was still tweeting out clips from shows expressed sympathy for Fowlers. One woman who purports to have been there said she witnessed something that was very aggressive and something that was very frightening. Yes, but was it the kid that did that? Or was it the black Israelites who were doing that? But regardless. Other reporters like the New York Times, John Capehart, might be mispronouncing, stood in solidarity with Phillips, while others esteemed tech journalist Kara Wisher said this is exactly why America needs that Casper Gillette ad. Really? America needs that inspired whatever Gillette ad. Yeah. But America needs that Gillette ad because of toxic masculinity. Yeah. Only problem is it's on the Black Israelite side. But anyway. In fairness, a number of individuals apologized and shared nearly videos demonstrating the student's innocent, which you can find this piece by Daily Caller Scott Morford. Despite those efforts, it's important to keep in mind that the media's efforts to tarnish the reactions of those innocent kids was being done while other social media users were encouraging violence and sending death threats, which is why I want to go with this article. But anyway, one would think that following the fallout from the disputed BuzzFeed report, the media would take a minute before trying to ruin any more innocent lives, particularly when they're talking about kids. Yet this whole episode makes one thing clear: journalists aren't willing to learn a thing. So, Native American elder Nathan Phillips, in his own words, So Native American elder Nathan Phillips, who, by the way, has been in controversy before with racism. He was at apparently there was a party. He went over to the party and someone threw a beer can. I find this guy's credibility like really devious, but let's see what he has to say. Has made headlines everywhere after a video showed him facing off with a Catholic school student in front of the Lincoln Memorial. Spoke at length with CNN the day after the incident. Phillips described what he felt was hate coming from the young person in the crowd, who pupils at the Catholic high school in Kentucky, who had travelled to the nation's capital to attend the March for Our Life rally, also held Friday. But yeah, I'll put a link to that article if you want to read it. Knock yourself out. Look, like I say, to be honest, I don't find him credible. I think he is a long-time victim who surfs the wave of popularity because of my victim status. And he has a history of doing this in the past, and I think he is milking this for popularity. Like this whole incident has literally made him a household name. He's probably loving this shit right about now, but regardless. Twitter allows verified calls for violence against conservative high school kids. Twitter has spent years assuring the public that it will crack down on trolling, harassment, and violent threats. It also pleaded to tackle misinformation and unhealthy conversations, using those loaded terms as excuse to ban a wide range of anti-progressive dissidents from the platform. For example, how many people were suspended or banned, like, for example, Alex Jones, because of harassment in the past? Remember when the school shooting happened for David Hogg and those kids? We couldn't make a video on YouTube regarding that without a threat of being copyright guideline struck, with a community guideline struck, because of harassment. But it's completely fine for people to go out now and even over the weekend and claim these kids have punchable faces and everything along those lines. That apparently is completely fine, but yet when the conservatives go asking questions about David Hogg, oh my God, you're harassing a kid. Really? You don't see any similarities between this. And in fact, you don't see a problem with this kid and celebrities and Twitter people and people on YouTube going through making videos claiming that they want to dox these kids, that, you know, and we'll get into all this stuff in a minute, don't worry, because this is where we're going with this. But, you know, all this shit that happened around these kids, people literally threatening to dox the kids. But when we ask questions about, for example, David Hogg, and whether or not he was actually at the school shooting, we're harassing him. But it's completely fine to dox these kids. No double standard whatsoever, right? But yeah, moving along. But when innocent conservative high school student kids are flooded with violence, threats, targeted harassment, and doxing on a basis of a media promoting misinformation, Jack Dorsey and his staff seem to do nothing. It's even briefly promoted the smears. Over the past 48 hours, an angry mob of Twitter users, by the way, I've reported so many of them. We'll just see what the actual response from Jack Dorsey is with that. But anyway, many of them with blue check marks next to their name, signally endorsing of their message by the company, have flooded the platform with disgusting abuse, violent threats, and calls to harass the innocent students of the Covington Catholic High School of Kentucky. So, for example, Uncle Shoes, which we will get to in a sec, he said, America 2018, throw these effing in the dumpster fire. We don't need them. I'm raising my son to something or other kids like this up. This is apparently fine. This guy's Twitter account at the making of this video is still up. He is still tweeting. So, okay. Imagine if I had said that about David Hogg. Holy shit, I would have been banned faster than you can possibly imagine. But regardless, he also responded saying, lock the kids in the school and burn the bitch to the ground. This is someone on Twitter with a verified checkmark. But regardless, he also said, but you gotta punch the shit out of one of these something or other's face first. Holy shit. Jeffrey Grubb, giving a shit-eating grin to a Native American's face isn't legally violence, but he's smiling about the violence. He's saying, my people hurt you and you can't touch me even when I go about it. This is fascism. Really got to learn. You really got to learn to look up these dictionary for these definitions you're planning on using, and you should punch fascists. No, Jeffrey, this is not fascism at all. And no, you shouldn't go around punching kids. Even David Hogg, I would never have suggested anybody punch the kid. What? Moving along. Punch the little MFS in the face. Pain is an excellent teacher. Someone else. By the way, this is CNN's Raji Alan, or whatever his name is. Honest question. Have you ever seen a more punchable face than this kid? Tiana, whatever her name is now. I know he's like a teen or whatever, but I still want to hit him. Like super hard. Right in that British-ass looking face, you know? Holy shit. But anyway, Katie Griffith, you know, from the severed Donald Trump head, you know, fame. P.S. The reply from the school was pathetic and impotent. Name these kids. I want names. Shame them. If you think these something or other wouldn't dox you in a heartbeat, think again. Yeah, let that sink in. That's a celebrity saying that. That's not some like D-list like rapper or whatever this guy is up here. This Uncle Shoes. It's not like some F rapper or whatever his name is. This is an actual celebrity. Granted, B or C class, but still a celebrity. William Legate is said that that day. Sorry, you'll have to go and defend these kids now. I did shit way less dumb than these kids when I was 16 and got obliterated for it. They deserve everything they're getting and more. Jesus Christ, these people are rough. No big whoopee ever. Maybe doxing racist teens is a powerful deterrent against being a racist teen. We all know how much fash love discipline and consequences. Okay, this kid's shutting down your freedom of speech, is he? How is this kid a fascist? Someone let me know. But anyway, not sure, but someone put together a nice collage of the mob. If I were in a room with a mega kid, Hitler and Toby, and had 3 bullets, I'd shoot the mega kid 3 times. Frigging hell, people. Really? This is what these kids have had to put up with because of a fake mainstream media narrative. Just let that sink in. Oh, and by the way, the lawsuits that are coming is going to be priceless. It really is going to be priceless. Jazz wants it, which is why I'm reading these all out, because these kids are going to need this as evidence. But regardless, I hope all these mega kids in the news get cancer, and the horrible parents that raised them this way get to suffer alongside. Jesus friggin' Christ. Holly Marie Combs. So here you go, Covington Catholic High School. Let them know a lot. Let them know now, God doesn't like ugly, especially hateful, ugly little idiots in red hats. Brandon Feldman wrote, because he's a kid, it's no reason to withhold his identity. Oh, really? It was completely fine for us not to talk about David Hogg, who was actually older than this kid, I actually believe, but anyway. If you want to say, because his behaviour doesn't warrant ruining his life, then we can have a debate. But his age alone should not protect him from his consequences. But it protects David Hogg, right? But moving along, I'll show you why in the next tweet. And it really does just keep going and going and going and going. It's just absolutely insane, some of the shit that these kids had to put up with. Now, I've obviously talked about the Razor. We've already talked about the Los Angeles DJ who called for the kids to be burnt down in their school. Obviously, you know, for example, he's gone through with such hate from the responses. He's actually started putting in advanced filters, so don't bother tweeting at him, guys, because he's not seeing it. David Dorez, whatever his name is, in my experience, a straight shooter, so folks might want to read this. Young man in DC marches, young man in DC march video denounces outright lies about him. Good on him, because thankfully he has. Representative John Marth says he was joking about banning mega hats after incident with a teen tribal elder. Because, you know, that's not fascist at all or anything, but regardless. Mother of convicted high school student who appeared in viral video responds to new footage of children being bullied by protesters. The new video shows a different side of the encounter between the narrative American elder and the teens in the Make America Again hat. Now, this is a news story that is coming out from CNN, which is really weird because now they're claiming it's a new video. But back here, they knew about the video. But here, it's a new video. I wonder why they might be trying to change the narrative regarding that. Statement of Nick Salmon, governing in high school junior, regarding the incident of the memorial. So obviously CNN's reporting on that because holy shit, these kids are going to sue us. CNN, David Briggs, Catholic student doesn't look considerate of Native American culture. Catholic high school student Nick Salmon, I was not going to become angry. I'm a faithful Christian. So probably just finishing up here, guys. The Catholic high school student Nick Salmon issued a public statement Sunday evening in response to the controversy over the viral video showing the confrontation between Native American activists and him, his fellow students at the March for Life on Washington, D.C. Salmon, a junior, identified himself as the student at the front of the crowd in the video and described the media reports about the confrontation as misinformation and outright lies. Thank you for red pilling. Thank you for red pilling more kids. But regardless, more people now have just realized how fake mainstream media actually is. So thank you very much for that. The statement was issued by the public relations firm on behalf of Salmon and his family, NBC News reported. So, the Native American activist Nathan Phillips said that the students had become beastly towards him. Okay, whatever. And he felt threatened by them. When the more evidence emerged, however, it seems that the black activists, radicals from the other obscure religious sect, had taunted the students with racial and homophobic slurs, and that Phillips had approached the students rather than the other way around. And obviously, Salmon has gone through and described, when we arrived, we noted 4 American protesters who were also on the other steps of the Lincoln Memorial. I'm not sure what they were protesting, and I didn't interact with them. I did hear them direct derogatory insults at our school group. Because we were being loudly attacked in public, a student in our group asked one of our teachers' chaperones to begin our school spirit chants. I did not witness or hear any student chant "Build the Wall," which is interesting because CNN claimed the kids did build that, or did say that. But regardless, you know, hey, it's CNN, right? They wouldn't lie about that sort of stuff or be mistaken. Yeah, me neither. Or another hateful racist comment at the time. Assertions to the contrary are quite simply false. After a few minutes of chanting, the Native American protester, whom I hadn't previously noticed, approaches our group. The Native American protester had a drum and were accompanied by at least one other person with a camera. I believe they're remaining motionless and calm. I was helping to defuse the situation. I said a silent prayer that the situation would not get out of hand. Obviously that didn't work because the media love to make it such a big thing, but anyway. I was not intentionally making faces at the protester. I did smile at one point because I wanted him to know I was not going to become angry. I am a faithful Christian and practicing Catholic. I have always tried to live up to the ideals of my faith teaches me to remain respectful of others and try and take no actions that would lead to conflict or violence. I am being called every name in the book, including a racist. I have received physical threats via social media as well as hateful insults. And that's there. Look, at the end of the day, guys, obviously, look, my biggest problem with this is, look, everybody is talking about how these kids were picked on by the media, and I get that. I fully get that. My argument is that this is such a clear double standard when it comes to these kids. Like, for example, with David Hogg. David Hogg, for example, was a protected class because he was a kid, right? We can't pick on a kid. No one can pick on a kid. And in fact, making a video about David Hogg gave you a community guidelines strike. Yet, for example, these kids are, hey, go knock yourselves out. Open slatter on these kids, right? Mainstream media, knock yourselves out. Don't have a problem attacking these kids. So what is the difference between David Hogg and this kid? Well, David Hogg has a progressive point of view. This kid is Catholic. This kid is Republican well, definitely in the future now Republican. So at the end of the day, that is the difference. This is more about attacking these kids because they're wearing Make America Great Again hats. This is attacking Trump's base. And this is something that Trump does not do. Trump doesn't attack the Democrats. Not their base, anyway. He attacks the leaders. The Democrats, on the other hand, they attack the base. We're deplorables. Make America Again racist hats. You know, all this sort of stuff. They actually attack the base. And this is why the Democrats have a very good chance of losing 2020. Because at the end of the day, instead of attacking the actual politicians, attacking the policies, they want to go on and attack the base. And that is what this all is about. I think the mainstream media needed something to get away from this BuzzFeed article. Get away from the fact that their Russia narrative is falling apart. And they wanted something else. And what else was there? Well, we have a whole bunch of kids that are pretending that we can frame as being racist and we can push this narrative and get everybody not focusing on the BuzzFeed article. That is what, to me, that BuzzFeed article now is a lot more important than what we think it is. Because they are desperately trying to get attention away from it. So, I don't know, maybe we should take another look at the BuzzFeed article. But guys, let me know your thoughts are in the comment section below about anything that we've talked about tonight. Do you think the mainstream media is trying to shift narrative away from the BuzzFeed article? Do you think that media attack these kids because they've got Make America Great Again hats, where, for example, David Hogg was a protected class because he was a, quote, kid? Do you think it was just a difference in political views? Anything you want to talk about, hit me up in the comment section below and we'll have a discussion. Apart from that, guys, obviously, if this video has been helpful, please smack a like. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.